The Treasure Hunt. We made a strange-looking party, all in dirty sailor clothes and all armed, except me. Long John Silver, with his parrot on his shoulder, held a rope which was fastened round my waist. Some of the men were carrying picks and shovels. The buccaneers, with oaths and cries, began to leap, one after another, into the pit, and to dig with their tools, throwing the boards aside as they did so. Morgan found a piece of gold and he held it up angrily. It was a 2-guinea piece, and it went from hand to hand among them for a minute or so.
2 guineas only?
Roared Mary, shaking it at Silver.
That's your £700,000, is it?
Dig away, boys,
commanded Silver, with the coolest look.
You'll find...
Friends, do you hear that?
Mary screamed.
I tell you now, that man there knew it all along. Look in the face of him, and you'll see it written there.
Ah, Mary,
said Silver.
You are standing for captain again. You are a pushing lad, to be sure.
This time, everyone was entirely in Mary's favour. They began to scramble out of the deep pit, casting furious glances at Long John Silver. I observed that they all got out on the opposite side from Silver. Well, there we stood, Silver and I, on one side, and the pirates on the other side, with the pit between us. Silver never moved. He watched them, very upright on his crutch, and looked as cool as ever I saw him. He was brave, and no mistake.
"Jim,"
he whispered,
"take that and be ready for trouble."
He handed me the musket. At last, Mary said,
Mates, there's 2 of them alone there. One's the old cripple with a crutch. It was his idea. He has brought us here. The other's only a boy. I want him. Now, friends.
He raised his arm to shoot. Just then, crack, 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 3 gunshots came from behind. Mary fell. The pirate with the bandage fell on his side. The other 3 buccaneers turned and ran as fast as they could. At the same moment, Dr. Livesey, Cray, and Ben Gunn joined us, coming from the wood.
Forward!
cried the doctor.
Double quick, my lads! We must stop them from getting back to their boats.
But we did not have to hurry. In a more open part of the plateau, we could see the 3 pirates still running in the same direction as they had started, right from Mizzenmast Hill. They had no way of escaping. We sat down for a rest. Dr. Livesey sent Grey back for one of the pickaxes deserted by the buccaneers in their flight. Then, as we proceeded leisurely downhill to where the boats were lying, he related, in a few words, what had happened to the treasure. It was a story that deeply interested Silver, and Ben Gunn was the hero of it. Ben, in his long, lonely wanderings around the island, had found the treasure. He had dug it up and had carried it on his back in many weary journeys, from the foot of the tall pine to a cave he had on the 2-pointed hill at the northeast angle of the island. And there it had lain stored in safety for 2 months. We set out for Ben Gunn's cave. We passed the 2-pointed hill and met the squire, who was waiting for us at the mouth of the cave. To me, he was most kind, but to Silver, who had already changed sides and joined our party, he said,
John Silver, you're a wretch and a pirate. Your hands are full of blood of the men you have killed.
Thank you kindly, sir,
replied Long John meekly, and saluted the squire. Thereupon we all entered the cave. It was a large airy place, with a little spring and a pool of clear water, overhung with ferns. The floor was sand. In a far corner, only duskily flickered over by the blaze, I beheld great heaps of coins and bars of gold.